Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. This is my 4-year anniversary video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can't believe I've had this hairstyle for 4 years and it has suited me and it has been the best thing since I started. So I want to continue and sharing my journey and the evolution and the feelings, if there are new feelings. I have to say, nothing's new. Feelings, I'm feeling good about my decision. I'm really happy with this hair. It's just so beautiful. It's gotten so long, it's gotten thick. I started my hair journey. For those who have not been following me, you just stumbled on this video. If you have, hello. My name is Annie and I mainly do Sisterlocks videos for now because I wanted to share this journey. I don't think it's getting thicker, so there's no thickness added to my hair, but it's getting longer. Aside from the length, nothing is really happening, but I'm really happy with it. I really like it. I really love it. And I'm just so happy. I have to say that I think that this was the hairstyle I have been waiting for my whole life. I've always been somebody who was very simple. I didn't need, the glamorous hairstyle. I didn't need to go and have my hair done all the time. I had a phase in my late teens, early 20s where I wanted to go to the salon very regularly, but it was never like every week. I couldn't afford it. I didn't have the money for that back then. I was a young girl. I don't think I even worked back then. I was just using my parents' allowance to go to the salon. And after that, started doing my hair myself. Mainly went to the salon only for major things like a haircut, coloring. At certain points, I went to the salon for my relaxer, but I think that even that, after a few years, I started doing my relaxer myself. Especially when I started my hair journey in 2009, I did my relaxer myself. Editing Annie here, I did not finish this point. So all I wanted to say is that this is where I've always wanted to be. This is what I always wanted my hair to make me feel. I don't know if that makes any sense, but the way I feel about my hair right now is how I always wanted to feel about my hair. I never wanted it to always look glamorous, always look weaved wigs like Beyonce all the time. No, I wanted it to be what it is for me right now. It makes me feel beautiful, but it also suits my personality because it is simple, it is low maintenance, it is, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it is exactly what I always wanted. If I want to go over the year, I think this update is kind of too close to my last update. This is it. This is the length. I'm gonna take advantage when I can film in my room because I really like the lighting here. This is it. Look at that. When you don't film every month, watching yourself on the screen, I can really see how much my hair grew, because last year when I was filming regularly, my hair was not that long. All right, so let's give some updates, some changes, some things that have happened. I have not tried hairstyles this year. The only thing I did once or twice, it was only a couple times, was a braid out. And both times I didn't wait enough for my hair to dry. So my hair wasn't completely dried when I did the braid out. So the curls did not stay for a long time. They fell really fast. When you do a braid out and you wait for it to dry, it can last a couple weeks. It can last 2-3 weeks until you wash your hair. I don't think I was ever able to do that. But my hair looks always kind of braided out because there's texture to it. It doesn't look flat and dull and boring. so I don't really feel the urge or the need to braid it out all the time. And I have enough volume also, which the braid out gives you volume, but I feel like I have volume. But when I do a braid out, I really like the style. I really like how my hair looks in a braid out, so I like to do that. But the braid out is mainly the style I tried. This year I want to try curls, so we'll see. I got some tools to try that. I got this. I bought this at my beauty supply store a few months ago, like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and I'm gonna try to use them. So I think I'm gonna film myself trying them. I will decide when I have time for that. So it's called the Microlocs Natural Hair Curling Tool. And I know I'm gonna watch some tutorial for sure to try to use this. I'm not gonna try this on my own, but that's it. You put them on and you get curls like this. And when you remove them, your hair looks curly. I'll try it. So this is what I got recently for my hair, but I haven't tried it because time. Otherwise, what have I done that's different? I don't think I mentioned this before, but I do not braid and band anymore. I haven't braided and banded in a long time, actually. I don't think I was cleared officially to stop braiding and banding, but I decided that that was the end of the road for me. I think after my 2nd anniversary, I started phasing it out gradually. And then I think that by the 3rd anniversary, I wasn't doing it anymore, or really rarely. So I don't braid and band anymore. I wash my hair loose. I still use the nozzle bottles, the pointy nozzle bottles to apply the shampoo, lather, and I still use this Sisterlocks starter shampoo. I still use that, and I also have the Sisterlocks tea tree shampoo, so I alternate between the two because the other one smells really good. I like it. Daily styling, I mostly use this big elastic that I've shown before to tie up my hair like this. So this is my daily hairstyle. And then when I want to look fancy, this is what I do. This is my fancy hairstyle. And then when I want to do it differently, I part it. I do a deeper part like this. Mirror. Just check it out. So this is my fanciest hairstyle. So when I want to be super fancy, I do this, the deeper part, or really deep like this. But usually I don't go that deep because I have sideburns and I always want to hide them when I can. I shaved them off last week, so now they don't show too much. But this is the deep side part, and when my hair is in a braid out, this looks really good because I have more volume, so I like that style. Let me just do the deep part, regular deep part. So like I was saying in the beginning, still no regrets. Still think I should have done this years ago. I still think it's amazing. Q&A. All right, let's try. I don't get that many questions because I'm a small YouTuber, but I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the comments, of course. I like to answer them. One of the questions was, why did I choose Sisterlocks over Microlocs? I've made videos about it, but I don't know if I really got into it really deep. At the time when I started researching for locks, it had been a few years of my failed natural hair journey. I think I was at my 4-year, around the 4-year mark, I would say approximately. I started thinking about getting locks, and I knew because my hair was fine, after seeing people with fine hair do traditional locks, I was like, ooh, I don't think I can do big locks because it's gonna look scalpy for me, because at the time I saw that my hair was really fine and thin. It wasn't growing easily. I had like jagged hair. Like the middle here was really short, the back here was long, and then in here sometimes it was long, sometimes a little short. It was a mess. I made it work, but it was a mess. And so I had determined that my hair was fine, problematic, and probably too thin for regular locks. So I started researching small locks. I didn't know anything about Microlocs or Sisterlocks back then. And then when I started researching, I saw that there was such a thing as Microlocs. And so I dove into that and I learned about Microlocs. And then while searching Microlocs, I stumbled, I guess, upon Sisterlocks. And so for me, Microlocs and Sisterlocks were pretty similar. It was similar enough that I didn't care which one I got. I just had to find a consultant or a loctician that would do either or for me. And then I started researching, but it wasn't easy. When you don't know what you're doing, it's not easy to find information. I went on Instagram, typing Microlocs Montreal. I tried a few things. I went online. At some point, when you research something, one result brings you to another result, that brings you to another result, and then brings you to another result. And that's how you find out information and you find references. And so that's how I found a consultant that was in Ottawa or Toronto, whatever it was. I was considering doing it, like having to travel. For me, Ottawa is about 2 hours away and Toronto is like 5 hours away, and I don't like to drive. So I don't know how I would have done. Like, I don't even drive. My consultant, I live in the suburbs of Montreal. My consultant is pretty much downtown Montreal, and I don't drive downtown Montreal. I take public transportation because I hate driving. So imagine if I had to drive to Toronto to get my hair done every month and a half. That would have been a crazy idea. So at first I found a lady on the internet, somehow typing Sisterlocks Montreal and stuff. And then I saw that she came to Montreal like once a month, every month, to retie people. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So she comes here, she commutes, she does the commute to serve her clients that are here. I was like, okay, let me think about it. And then continuing on researching. And I had decided on Microlocs because I thought Sisterlocks weren't done here where I live. So I had decided on Microlocs, and yeah, going through researching and everything, I finally discovered that we had consultants here. And when I went on the Sisterlocks website, I didn't think we would have anyone. And I saw a list of people and I started checking to find them on Instagram, and I found my consultant on Instagram. I saw what she had posted. My consultant also had Microlocs clients, like tiny Microlocs that she doesn't even do anymore now. The very tiny Microlocs that look like Sisterlocks, but they're not Sisterlocks. That's when I got in. So I got in when she was like in the beginning of her thing. I mentioned this before in other videos, but Sisterlocks consultants are less expensive when they're trainees and more expensive when they're certified. And then when they're like certified are even more expensive. And so you have to pay for that. You have to pay for the expertise. So this is mainly stumbling upon Sisterlocks. That's how I found my consultant. And then because I was open for Microlocs and I realized that Sisterlocks were really expensive, then when I made my appointment to get my hair done, it was for Sisterlocks because I had done the process of the consultation and the test locks and everything. And then I chickened out because I thought it was expensive. I thought it was irresponsible because, that's how I am. So I did Microlocs instead. And then I regretted it like almost right away. And then when I saw how much I loved the style, I was like, let's not lie to ourselves. You really wanted Sisterlocks, so let's just go for Sisterlocks and let's not try to pretend. Deep down, I really wanted Sisterlocks. I fell in love with the pictures and the style, and even though I knew that Microlocs were a very similar style and it probably would have been less headaches, less money for sure, for reties and all that, I fell in love. The thing that I have to say though is, in all honesty, it wasn't about the Sisterlocks versus Microlocs thing. It was mainly about the sizing. I think that's what it was for me. It was the sizing. I wanted it to be the tiniest, manageable, tiny locks. I know I didn't want to get 800 locks or 1,000 locks. I know that. But in the 4 to 500 range, that's what I wanted. And with my Microlocs, I got less than 300. So I know that stylists don't like to let their clients choose the number of locks they want. If you have advice and you want to tell them, well, if you want 500 locks, I can't do that for you because I don't want to have to retie 500 locks every few months, every few weeks. Yes, but you have to negotiate that. So, but I was right, like looking at my hair now, I was right. Like, this is what I wanted. This is what the way that it looks like. This is it. This is what I wanted. So I think I was right. Okay, so let's do other questions. So what's the difference between Sisterlocks and Microlocs? Well, it is the method of installation that is different and the method of maintenance. And so if you're interested, the styling itself, like, I don't know if you guys follow Tykara and on YouTube, she has Microlocs and she has like 600. She has more than me and she has Microlocs, not Sisterlocks. But if you look at her hair, the style is crazy the same. It is like the same, Her Microlocs were installed as twists, and my loctician has a method for installation of Microlocs with twists so that they don't unravel when you first install them. She has a method for that. And so following that method, even if you install tiny locks, you don't have to do the interlocking. Interlocking tiny locks takes a long time because even installing them with twists takes a long time because you would probably braid the top and braid the ends so that they don't unravel. And then just doing that slows you down for the installation, But if you had to interlock, that takes way longer than braiding the top and bottom, So I would say the style is very similar. So if you can find someone who will install locks, even just twists, locks, tiny twists, do that because in a couple years, it's gonna look the same as this. Of course, it's not my experience. I haven't done it, but I just look at the girls online on YouTube and on Instagram and on TikTok, and I'm like, oh, their hair looks pretty much the same as mine. After a couple of years, you can't tell. You can't tell. It's a very good alternative. The Sisterlocks are created using a trademarked locking technique, but as I was saying, when you let your hair lock after a couple years, what technique you use to lock it will not matter. For certain people who start with, I think, braid locks, the braid pattern stays longer in your hair. If you don't like that, maybe consider not doing that. But if you don't mind that, it's a nice way to start your locks as well. And then because it's an interlocked hairstyle, you don't need products to install your locks and you don't need product to maintain your locks, which that was a good thing for me because my scalp was crying for deliverance. My scalp was not having it with other hair products that I was using when I was natural. My scalp was like, I am done. I am over this. This is too much for me. It was inflamed all the time. And now, since installing my locks, it might have taken a couple weeks, not even that long. No more itchiness, no more inflammation. Yes, Sisterlocks have to be installed by a consultant. So if your hair is installed by yourself, they're technically, let's say it like that, they are technically called Microlocs if they are not installed by a certified Sisterlocks consultant. But I'm not here to start anything. I'm just saying this is the information that's out there. And what else? My hair, along with my hair when I started. So I started my locks in 2019. March 1st was my installation date, which my installation took 2 days. 26 hours in total, I think. And I installed my hair at about 8 inches. So when my hair was installed, stretched, it reached my shoulders. Very see-through, very like not too nice. And then after the first wash, my hair kind of shrunk a little bit, and it was like a little bob, like maybe at between neck length and shoulder length, I think. So that was my length when I started, and right now this is my length. I can say armpit length right now, but it's just barely armpit length. But for me, this is so good. It looks really good. This is so long for me. I mentioned the test locks. When you install Sisterlocks, your consultant will do test locks on your hair to determine the best size for your density. This is why I would say you don't really choose. Normally, you don't choose your lock size. The consultant would choose your lock size depending on your density and your hair texture, because if your hair is looser and will unravel easily, they will not use the same pattern as someone who has hair that will lock really easily. So this is a different thing, but mainly from what I've seen so far, the pattern, the most popular one is the I forgot how you call it, the 4-point, I think. So that's the most popular one, and that's the one she uses on me, the regular one. I think it's the regular one. That's the one most people talk about that they have. And how often do I retie these days? We have had a good year, no major events like I was saying last video. So I retie my hair every 5 to 6 weeks. We try not to go over that because I have so much new growth if we do, but she can retie my hair in 4 hours or less if I do that. It's so perfect for me. I haven't gotten recently the people asking me if my Sisterlocks can be removed. In real life, a lot of people ask me how long it took to install, and they don't really understand. Well, it doesn't look like they understand that I don't install them every time. So when I answer that question, I always like answer both at the same time. It took a long time to install, but when I retie the roots, I retouch the roots only, and it's just a few hours. It's not too long. And I go to my consultant to retie my hair. I don't do it myself. Never do it myself, never done it myself, don't want to. Will if I have to, of course, but I never had to do it, and I'm really grateful. So 4 years later, I remember how hard the decision was. So if you are going through this, I understand it's not an easy decision to make, but I can tell you, if you are interested in tiny locks, Sisterlocks and Microlocs are the same. I wholeheartedly believe that. Even though I did choose Sisterlocks in the end, if I could have gotten smaller Microlocs, I would have done that, which means they would have been twists instead of interlocks. Even though I really like the consistency, the way that the lock is so like, but they're not perfect. I have locks that are, I don't know if you saw that when I pulled that first one, that are like tiny in the middle, and then they go bigger. I have locks like that, so I have to be careful with them, like this one. I don't do anything. I say I have to be careful with them, but I don't do anything special. They're still here, and when she needs to do repairs, she does them. This one has been repaired many times. I think that's, oh no, I was gonna say that's gonna be a final repair for it, but it looks like I have another repair coming here. I might lose it because I feel that the hairs are detached from this part. So I don't pull on it too much, but I tie my hair up every day almost, so one day it might fall off, but hopefully I will notice and I will be able to pick it up and bring it with me on my next appointment. All I need to do now is try hairstyles. That's all I need to do, but I'm not ready for the time and the headaches, because pulling my hair will probably cause headaches for me. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I will also have my length check shirt footage. And that's gonna be it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.